Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to today's scripture with Ayaba G. And today's scripture comes from the book of Exodus, chapter 6, verses 2 and 3, and it reads as follows. And Elohim spoke unto Moshe, and said unto him, I am Yahuwah. And I appeared unto El Avraham, and unto El Yitzchak, and unto El Yaakov, by El Shaddai, but by my name, Yahuwah, was I not known to them. By my name was I not known to them. Here in this passage of scripture, it says, And Elohim spoke unto Moshe and said unto him, I am Yahuwah. He introduced himself to Moshe. He is telling him, I want you to know who I am. And he goes on to say, and I appeared unto El Avraham, and unto El Yitzchak, and unto El Yaakov, by El Shaddai. But by my name, Yahuwah, was I not known to them. Now, as I was reading this passage of scripture, I was like, wow, that's really, really interesting. Because when you look at the lives of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob and all of the things that happen in their lives and how they were dealt with by the Most High Yah, and how he, led them and guided them and directed them, and the things that he did for them and through them, with everything that he did with those three men, they still didn't know him by his name. And I was like, wow, that really is interesting. Because now he's talking to Moshe and he's saying, I am Yahuwah. And then he tells him, after he introduces himself to Moshe as Yahuwah by his name, he tells him that to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, that they know what I could do. They know that I could provide for them, but they still didn't know me by my name. So he's differentiating between how they knew him and how he is getting ready to, how he's introducing himself to Moshe. In other words, my relationship with you is going to be different than the relationship that I had with them. And with this relationship that I am getting ready to enter into with you, there's going to come a responsibility with this level of relationship that I'm about to enter into with you, because you're going to get to know me by my name. You're going to get to know me for who I really am. And what he did through Moses, through Moshe, was, spectacular. But he's letting him know right off the bat, let me introduce myself to you by my name. And it just shows with that deeper level of relationship, as you continue to study the life of Moses and what Yahuwah was able to do through him getting to know him not just as Elohim with a title, but getting to know him as Yahuwah. You're going to get to know me for who I really am. Now we've got to ask ourselves that question. What level of relationship do we really have with the Most High Yah? You may be in a situation where you don't have one with him at all. Or it's a very shallow relationship. You know, you just kind of know who he is by title. Or maybe you've seen what he is doing in the lives of other people, but you don't really know who he is by name. And we've got to ask ourselves, do we want to have that intimate and personal relationship with him, where we know him by name, where we know him as Yahuwah? And who is Yahuwah? I am he who breathes life. Behold the nailed hands. He is the one who actually breathes life into us. We have life because of him. And when you know that you are in a relationship with Yahuwah, the one who has given you your very life, he is the reason why you are breathing and living today, you're going to carry yourself in a different way. You're going to live a different way. You're going to think differently. You're going to speak differently. There's certain things that you're not going to do. There's certain relationships that you're not going to get into. It's not only going to change the way that you think and live your life, it's going to transform your life. And you've got to ask yourself, do you want your life to be transformed today? Do you just want to stay in a relationship with the Most High that is shallow, where you just kind of know him by a title, but you never really get to know him by name? And there are many people who just know him by title, and they have no clue who Yahuwah is. And in these last days, we need to know who Yahuwah is. And if you're watching this video and you're listening and you're following along, he's trying to introduce himself to you today in a deeper, intimate way. He's trying to draw you closer to him. See, he drew Moshe closer to him. And because he drew him closer, Moshe was transformed, and he was able to utilize Moshe for his purpose. The relationship was never shallow. It was deep. And because Moshe got to know him for who he is, or who he was to Moshe, he conducted himself differently. He looked different. He functioned differently. He couldn't go back to doing the same things he was doing in the past before he got to know Yahuwah by name. And that's the way it should be for us. When we get to know Yahuwah by his name, when we get to know him on a whole nother level, when he introduces himself to us in a way that we've never gotten a chance to know him before, and he draws us in, and he reveals his purposes for our lives to us, you will never be the same. You just can't go back to the way that you were living. You can't go back to what you were doing. You just can't go back to the way you were thinking. You will be changed forever. And so we need that transformation. We need to get to know Yahuwah by name. We've got to move away from just knowing him as a title. And we need to know him by name. We have plenty of people in this world today who just know him by a title and could care less about coming into a deeper, intimate, and personal relationship with Yahuwah. I pray today that you get to know him by his name. And with that, I will leave you with Shabbat Shalom.